Miss Edie, you're live.
All right, thank you. I'm going to call to order the Monday, April 19th, 2021 Virtual Finance and Purchasing Committee. Roll call, please.
Sorry, didn't want to unmute for me. Chairman Newsom.
Present.
Alderman Moiseo.
I'm here.
Alderman Kirkwood. Alderman Rivera.
Present.
Alderman Seeger.
Present.
All right, item C, approval of the minutes. I'm going to take a motion by Alderman Moiseo, second by Alderman Seeger to approve the minutes from March 15th, 2021 Virtual Finance and Purchasing Committee. Are there any questions to this motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Seeger.
Aye.
Chairman Newsom.
Aye. Motion carried. Take a motion by Alderman Moiseo, second by Alderman Rivera to seat Alderman Kirkwood. All those in favor, or do we do a roll call?
I think we're supposed to.
We do need to do a roll call.
Okay.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Seeger.
Aye.
Chairman Newsom.
Aye. Motion carried. We're on item D, public comment. City Clerk Kilkelly, were there any comments or questions for?
No, Chairwoman, there are none. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We're going to move on to new business, item A. Motion to renew a contract with Blackboard Connect GSA contract number GS35, F as in Frank, 0554, F as in Frank, for a period of 1 year and an amount, excuse me, an amount of $39,157.13 for the purposes of a mass calling system. The IT department would like to request approval to renew the annual maintenance contract with Blackboard Connect government under GSA contract number GS35, F as in Frank, 0554. There's a different number. Is this F5055 4F or 4M as in Mary? Erica, no? Alderman Taylor?
I'd like to ask if we could hold A and B over just until I am able to talk to the department heads more and see if we have a better overview of this before we commit to especially be a 3-year contract. Is there a way, is Mr. Vila on that we can ask him a little bit more detail about it? Because
I did speak with him earlier regarding the item A, the Blackboard. If we hold this one over, we will be shutting down the emergency system.
okay, then we need to vote on that. Yeah.
Okay. The other one, the other contract, when we get to item B, we can discuss that one. But he did tell me that if we shut this one down, the emergency boil orders and all that stuff, if we want to go.
That's gotta happen. It's gotta happen.
Okay. I'm going to take a motion by Alderman Moiseo. Did you have a question, Alderman Moiseo?
No, it was, never mind.
Motion by Alderman Moiseo, second by Alderman Seeger. Are there any more questions on this motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Kirkwood.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Seeger.
Aye.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Sorry, aye.
Chairman Newsom.
Aye, motion carried.
Chairman, just I'm sorry, a quick question on that. You indicated that we had to approve it today. Is this something that kind of has been out there for a couple of weeks, or did we just find out about this?
This one will be expiring. Let me see. Is Eric online? He would be online. Well, we discussed that. I talked to him about maybe going out for bid for a different system or whatever. And he said while we were in negotiations, this one would end, this contract will be ending, I believe, the end of the fiscal year. And we would have to shut it down.
No.
So I'm not, is he on? Eric?
That's all right. We can move on.
Okay, we can come back to discuss that with him. Item B, motion to renew a contract with Cartograph for 3-year, 1-year periods as follows. First year is $94,395. Second year is $97,227, and the third year is $100,144. And this is the Public Works utilizes this system for their asset management purposes. And this is a system that we got about 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago. They've been using it for the last year. My understanding with this contract is it's renewable, but if we don't take the maintenance for each year, what we would have to do is go back out for bid and have to do another whole system. And I think this system was paid for with bond money. So what we're doing now is the maintenance for each year on this system. And they use this system in Public Works when somebody calls in and they get a ticket about whatever service needs to be provided for a resident or whatever. They track that ticket all the way through, and they're able to tell how long it takes for each item to be taken care of. Mr. Hewitt is on vacation, and I did speak with Isabel that's out there, and she couldn't give me a whole lot more detail regarding this item. But if this is one that you want to hold over, if we go out for bid, we would have to purchase a whole new system, Public Works.
I don't want to necessarily hold things over, but what I would like to know is, would we be able to down the road get it so that the aldermen can access that and put in like requests that we have from our wards, rather than having to call Public Works? Can we access that in some way that they would have that?
I think the system has a lot of functions that we're not utilizing right now because we've only been using it. The first year was like bringing the department up to speed on it and how it functions and things like that. So I think it's really been operating just this last year. And I think it has a lot more functions that we can use it for, just like the Blackboard Connect. I'm speaking with him.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
We would have to have the residents to sign on and okay, Eric, you here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. With the cardiograph, did you have any more information on that? I know we talked about that a little bit this afternoon or this morning.
Correct.
The question was from Alderman Taylor regarding being able to have the alderman to enter request on this system.
Yes, that's correct. Basically, it's a renewal program. And this one we could possibly hold over if you want to go for a multi-year contract. But this is your emergency management notification system, which is for water boils, any type of construction or hazard areas. We want to alert the entire general area, including and by ward for notifications.
That's
for
A.
the Blackboard A. That's for the Blackboard item A.
Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. I'm sorry, cartograph. My apologies.
We went
Yeah,
on
my
it.
apologies.
Okay, we approved item A. So item
Okay.
B is that one we can hold over.
Yes, on the cartograph, yes, we can hold it over, but just remember that if that's an online solution, which is a web-based product that we have, and if we cut the services off too long, without payment, then most likely they're going to shut our services off, which means we're going to lose our help desk ticketing system
Okay,
Alderman Newsom.
for a public ward, for the public yards.
okay. Alderman Moiseo?
I wouldn't be opposed to holding over, asking questions. My understanding is it's a little bit of a complicated system. And think about this, when police and fire get training, they have somebody who can stand in for them. They have more than one shift. Public Works has one shift. So it's very hard to train those guys on how to use this system. I don't know how efficient it is for the guys at Public Works. My opinion would be pass it here in committee and hold it over on the council floor. That way you're only holding it up for 2 weeks. I don't think they cut our services in 2 weeks. I could be wrong. We'd have to ask Eric, but I'd like to get a little bit more at $300,000. I'd like to get a little bit more information and make sure it's actually working, it's efficient. And our guys at Public Works actually know how to discern it and use it. I mean, they may just need training, but how do you train them when they only work 9 to 5? When you take half of them off the job, you're going to shut down Public Works for 1 or 2 days. So that's my opinion.
And that's $300,000 over 3 years, I believe it is, and that's the multi-contract. I have not heard any complaints as far as I know that has not been reported back from Cartograph Systems from the guys. Again, you're right, Alderman. It could be just the lack of training and the time to train them.
Right.
Alderman Rivera?
So Eric, a quick question. Would it be okay to hold this over for 2 weeks, or is this another one that we must do right now?
Yeah, I think what we can probably do is we can also hold an emergency meeting if they so require it. But I don't believe that they're going to sit there and shut us off for a couple of weeks.
Alderman Rivera, Alderman Kirkwood?
Well, I agree with Alderman Mosio that, we can pass it, and then hold it over into the council meeting. That way, we can get the information that we need and then move forward on that.
I'm going to take a motion by Alderman Moiseo, second by Alderman Kirkwood. Are there any more questions on this motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Rivera,
Aye.
Alderman Seager,
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo,
Aye.
Alderman Kirkwood,
Aye.
Chairman Newsom.
Aye, motion carried. Item C, motion to authorize procurement authority in amount not to exceed $42,000 with Impact Networking LLC in the current fiscal year for printer, toner, and repairs. I'm going to take a motion by Alderman Kirkwood, second by Alderman Rivera. The toner and service printer throughout the city is under contract until September 2022. These commodities and services are associated to black and white and color cost per page. Due to COVID-19, page count doubled during the months of March 2020 to present. Are there any questions to this motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Seager,
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo,
Aye.
Alderman Kirkwood.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera,
Aye.
Chairman Newsom.
Aye, motion carried. Item D, motion to approve the 2019 Annual Action Plan Amendment in the amount of $593,989. This is with the, I'm going to take a motion by Alderman Moiseo, second by Alderman Seager. This is with the CDBG annual cares funding. Is Miss Larissa on?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Okay. Did you want to speak to item D first? Since the next two, these two are connected. You can talk a little bit about it and let them know what we're doing here.
Okay, so what I'm asking here, the motion to approve this amendment. So we got an additional $577,100 of CARES Act funding. So we had to get an amendment, go back to the 2019, do an amendment for that amount of money in order to allocate those funds. And provided in a packet, it had funded 2020, 2021 CDBG funded program. It was in an Excel spreadsheet. I hope everyone got that. Okay, and so with that list, it has, the row, it has CARES Act 3 funded amount. So that's where we took that 577 that we got back. We have to do it as an amendment because it's added money that we didn't additionally get, which is the CARES Act funding. And so that's where that 577,100, that's where it was allocated to in those programs. Now, the additional amendment to that is the allocated funding of the $16,889. So we added that together for the total that we have in the amendment for the $593,989. So that all went together. So One Hope United, they actually gave some funding back in the amount of $6,000. And then Child Serve, they gave funding back that was reallocated as well. And so this table here, I don't have it up to share to show it, but it's here. This table explains the amendments that I'm asking for approval.
Okay, are there any questions to this motion for amendment? Roll call, please.
Sorry, uncooperative computer today. Alderman Moiseo, please.
Aye.
Alderman Kirkwood,
Aye.
Alderman Rivera,
Aye.
Alderman Seager,
Aye.
Chairman Newsom.
Aye, motion carried. Item E is related to the CDBG as well. Item E, motion to approve, and we do have to make an amendment to this date. The 2020 should be 2021 annual action plan in the amount of $785,669. And I believe that this motion is to amend the date, and is I'll have Ms. Larissa talk a little bit about it, but the vote is to amend this because it's still the period is still, comment period is still open until the end of this month. So
Yes.
at that time, it'll go to, we'll pass it out of committee. It'll go to the floor. It will stay in there until the 1st of May, our meeting in May for approval, since it'll be after the April 30th comment period.
Yes.
So, Ms. Wilson?
So this is the 2021 program year, which starts May 1, 2021 to April 30th, 2022. And so this is just a detailed list of programs and activities that we're going to do for this upcoming year. And we are putting that before you for your review. The public commenting period actually started March 31st, and it will end April 30th of this month. And then I would like to bring it before council on May 3rd for approval, to then go out to HUD along with Lake County and the city of North Chicago. I think we are going to have it out on the 14th of May when we will submit it to HUD. It's available online right now on our website, so the public can take a look at it and comment on it. And so I just wanted to present it to council tonight so that you all can take a look at it as well and have any questions or comments also.
I'm going to take a motion by Alderman Kirkwood, second by Alderman Rivera, that we will motion to amend the date from 2020 to 2021 annual action plan in the amount of $785,669. Are there any questions to this motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Kirkwood? I didn't hear you, sir.
Aye.
Thank you. Alderman Rivera?
Aye.
Alderman Seager?
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo?
Aye.
Chairman Newsom?
Aye, motion carried. Item F, motion to approve the annual grant to the Waukegan Main Street in the amount of $25,000. I'm going to take a motion by Alderman Seager, second by Alderman Kirkwood. Main Street relies on partnership and incremental sustainable development. The Main Street Board members, volunteers, and stakeholders are working on multiple fronts to improve storefronts, facade, bring more businesses downtown, and to address the unforeseen issues that are arising and will arise from the coronavirus crisis. Are there any questions to this motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Rivera?
Aye.
Alderman Seager?
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo?
Aye.
Alderman Kirkwood?
Aye.
Chairman Newsom?
Aye, motion carried. Item G, motion to authorize a change order in the amount of $11,351.12 with Leshner and Sons to bring the total spending authority to $40,000 for the current fiscal year. I'm going to take a motion by Alderman Vera, second by Alderman Seager. The fire department is requesting approval for change order number 1 with Leshner and Sons uniform rentals. City Council approved the amount of $28,648.88 on March 21st, 2016. The fire department is requesting a change order in the amount of $11,351.12, bringing the total to $40,000 anticipated to be spent with Leshner and Sons. The police department, the fire department, and public works all use this same vendor. That's why the amount went over for this year. Alderman Kirkwood?
Okay, I understand that it went over, but what was the reason that it went over? Was there a price increase for the materials, or they bought additional uniforms? What caused this?
Is Chief Bridges on?
Yes, I am.
I think last year, you want to talk, Chief? You can talk.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we had all 3 units are under this purchasing agreement, and the purchase order had to go up only for an additional $2,000, $2,300 for our department. But this is a 5-year contract. So the approval was from a dollar amount dated back when we first signed the contract. And this overage, because now all 3 departments are using this, that's the reason for an increase. No price increase. It was just the purchasing, the use of their equipment went up. And with all 3 departments being on this original 5-year contract, that's what caused us to go over this year. They did the exact same thing last year because all 3 of us are on it. But Public Works put in for the change order last year. All 3 departments having to an increased charge caused the fire department. One of us had to put in for the change order. So it's not in particular to the fire department. Collectively, all 3 units went over the contracted amount.
All right, thank you.
Are there any more questions to this motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Seager?
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo?
Aye.
Alderman Kirkwood?
Aye.
Alderman Rivera?
Aye.
Chairman Newsom.
Aye, motion carried. Item H, motion to authorize procurement authority in an amount not to exceed $43,932.60 with strikers in the next fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2021 for police uniforms. The City of Waukegan Police Department is anticipating a higher than normal retirement rate in the upcoming fiscal year. Based on this, the PD has scheduled 5 officers to be hired at a time and placed in the next 4 police academies. If the PD does not need these spots, we will cancel academy spots toward the end of the fiscal year. This will be a possible total of 15 to 20 officers hired in 2021. And I'm going to take a motion by Alderman Moiseo, second by Alderman Seager. Are there any questions to this motion? And is the chief on, if there is? I don't see anyone from the police department. Alderman Rivera.
Thank you. My question is, so this is an anticipated expense based on anticipated retirements?
Yes. And I think the chief already knows that there's going to be a few retirements coming up here pretty soon. And this is for, I guess, in the developments, it says each officer costs $2,196.63 to properly outfit. With the 37 individual items listed, we got a list of all the items that each officer has to have. It comes up with that total $43,932.60. And if we don't use that many officers, then we won't use that much money. We won't need that cost.
So, okay, so because it's saying right here that we will cancel the academy spots towards the end of the fiscal year, if we know that we don't need this. So is that the same situation with this $40,000?
Right, that's just a not to exceed amount.
Okay.
Alderman Kirkwood?
Answer my question.
Okay, that's not to exceed amount. We're not gonna go over that. That's if he has to, that's if we are allowed to hire that many officers, 20. No more questions? Roll call, please.
Can I make a comment?
Alderman Taylor?
I believe that we're going to have 10 police officers within the next year retiring. So that's kind of what they're anticipating.
Maybe could be more than that. I know, I think 13 have already put their papers in.
Yeah.
We're in trouble going forward.
Yeah.
Real trouble going forward.
Alderman Kirkwood?
Okay, if we're anticipating that many of our officers, retiring in the next year, are we putting the dollars where we need to, not only for the training, but the uniforms and everything else? Have we considered all that?
I think Alderman Kirkwood, I think
That's what this is, yeah.
Yeah.
This what this is, the uniforms and whatnot. Yes, correct.
This is equipping the officers with what they need. This is equipped, with the different items that they have to have. Not necessarily, I don't think
Maybe what we can do is during the council meeting, maybe get a hold of Chief and maybe he can give us a little better intel on what this is about.
Yeah, this includes the shirts and pants and everything else that all the items that an officer would need. And each officer outfitted completely is $2,196.63. So this 40,000 covers that 20.
Okay, maybe we can get Chief on, at the council meeting. I just want to make sure we don't get caught blindsided with all these retirees, whether it's the police department, fire department, so that we are staffed as needed. As certainly, we know there are some situations in our wards that continually need to be addressed, especially with our experienced officers, and we're losing experienced officers.
Right. I know we have 4 or 5 already in the academy right now.
Yes, I think we have,
4.
I think we have 8 in the FTO program right now. That means they went to the academy, they're on the road with somebody else learning. We have the academy. I did talk to the chief a bit. The academy is a bit of a problem right now because of COVID and earlier, so there's a lag time. I think if you want to, any individual alderman want to call and talk to the chief about that, he can give you a little bit better explanation about what is going on with it, so.
Madam Chairman.
That might help.
Yeah, Madam Chairman.
Yes, Mayor.
Yes, this situation is probably got to go offline. We'll be, I've spoken with Mayor-elect. She and I was with the chief the other day, and we can probably give you a one-on-one as to what our strategy is going to be from now over the next year and a half. To Alderman Mozio's point, there's only one academy right now in the state of Illinois, which presents a problem, not just for us, but for all police personnel who have new hires. So I know that's one of the things the chief is really trying to get us better situation with the different academies. And that's going to be the issue. As far as strategy, we have a strategy already built in over the next year and a half to talk, but let's talk about that offline. But the academy is still the issue with COVID because I think there's only one going on right now. And as you know, all of them are trying to get in there. So that's what
I agree with the mayor. I would suggest that every alderman get a chance to talk to the chief and he can give you a little bit better information about what's going on. So.
But let's be clear. Let's be clear, everybody. Chief and his team has this under control.
Thank God for Chief.
Yeah. And I know Chief Wallace just jumped on, so he can probably give you some high level things. But again, I'm going to suggest that we call the chief individually as relates to what our personnel. Chief Wallace, I notice you're on. Are you on, Chief?
Yes, sir. I'm right here.
All right. Chief, kind of talk about the school, the academy, that situation right now. I know that's been a level of frustration for not just you, but all the chiefs throughout the state.
Oh my, absolutely. So what happened was in this last year, a lot of academies were scheduled and then canceled all up until maybe we had the State Police Academy canceled on consecutive Thursdays before the Monday they were supposed to start. So three days before the start, we ended up with one academy that's held at the College of DuPage, which is the suburban law enforcement academy. We actually used them for the seven we hired in September, and they made it through the academy, but they started September 19th or 20th and ended up graduating maybe the 16th of February. So they were delayed a few weeks. So we went back to them because they were the only ones with slots, and we had, we swore in 6. One had gone to the Chicago Police Academy, so we sent 5 down there. One had an integrity violation, and they kicked him out of the academy, which left 4 down there. One came down with COVID. The other was exposed to him, and because of their policy, the one that was exposed to the guy, although not testing positive, is not allowed on the property for 14 days. So now we're down to 2, and they threw the 2 slots on to June. So we're somewhat held up on this one, although gladly enough, we have 8 in the field training officer program, which will help, and they should be done the last week of May, the first week of June, from what it looks like.
Thank you, Chief.
Oh, Chief, and I know there was another question, Chief, just so we're very clear. We, as far as coverage on our streets and safety within our city, I know you and I, Mayor-elect Taylor, we're very comfortable with where we're at with just succession planning and certainly retirement is something we can you speak a little bit about that, please?
Yeah, absolutely, sir. So after I met with the mayor-elect and the mayor and Mayor Cunningham, the idea was to finalize our plan for where we're going with that. We do have to move some officers to the road. We've selected 9 positions that we would move back to the road, and then they would move back to their specialty positions once we were able to backfill the officers a little bit, which I anticipate will be no later than probably the 4th of July. But I mean, we got to keep an open mind. I was made aware of 3 or 4 officers who are not going to be retiring from the city of Waukegan, but 2 were going to leave to go to police departments in Florida. 2 were looking to go to the federal government. And I just was notified the other night, even since I met with the mayor and mayor-elect, that one of them decided to leave policing and go sell computers, which is absolutely fine. It's part of it. It's just they leave a little quicker and we can replace them. But there's a few details that we're not that we're scaling back right now until we can resume, which I believe, all things being equal, we'll be able to resume them pretty much in the fall. But the idea now is to backfill the road where we have the obligation and the necessity. And, you know, with the officers on 12-hour shifts, holding them over for half-hour shifts, put somebody on a line for 18-hour days, and that's just not right. It's difficult to do, difficult to have a person back for an 18-hour day, but when you can plan and see where you're going to have some shortfalls in that, your best bet is to backfill like we've done.
Thank you, Chief. And not to belabor this situation, I do want to talk to you about it's not the SAFER grant, that's for the fire department. What's the name of that grant for you? I know it came up, we talked about it, but I don't know if it was something was available at this time. Can you give us a little bit of information on that?
Right. No, sir, we haven't. Last time I saw it was a year or 2 ago, and the requirements were very stringent as all federal grants became so stringent. Some of the requirements they want were just probably not the right fit for the city of Waukegan. It is called a CHIRP grant, and I haven't seen it come out. I haven't seen it come out definitely for this year. I haven't seen it. I don't even remember seeing it last year. But it's kind of, yeah, I mean, that's what the grant's about. You know, in the past administration, some of the policies were, in coordination with the administration, decided that some of their policies probably just weren't right for Waukegan to sign on to. But I do predict that will open up a little bit, quite a bit, honestly, and go back to some of the pre-last administration rules about the use of forfeiture money, the CHIRP hiring, those kind of things.
And just Alderman, thank you, Chief. Alderman, just to let you know, there was going to be a proposal from me over the next 3 to 4 years that we move our current number of officers. And I want to say it's about 140. Where we have 145, Chief? 148?
Sitting today, sir, we're at 151.
At 151. My goal was to push us at 100, 165 over the next 4 years. That was going to be the proposal presented to you. Again, I've shared that with Mayor-elect Taylor, and that was something that not only the mayor, her staff, but you aldermen will have to. I believe that will put us right about 3/4 where we're about 10 officers less than where we're at due to the 2008. And that would be a good number for us to do a number of things, specialized units, more particularly at traffic division, and then putting more support on our patrol division. All right, so that's
absolutely.
Kind of, but we'll again talk to the chief offline about where we're at now. But those are the goals, and they were already written up, and I think the chief was going to present that to Mayor-elect and her team one post the transition. Safe to say, Chief?
Absolutely, yes. That's safe to, yes, sir, that's safe to say.
All right.
All
right. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
No problem. We have a motion on the floor that is item H. We have a motion on the floor. Roll call, please.
Alderman Moiseo,
Aye.
Alderman Kirkwood? Could you repeat that so we can hear you, sir?
Aye.
Thank you. Alderman Rivera?
Aye.
Alderman Seager?
Aye.
Chairman Newsom?
Aye, motion carried. Item I, motion to authorize, excuse me, a change order in the amount of $23,450 to Dignified Cleaners to bring total spending authority to $164,450 for the current and upcoming fiscal year. I think that should be the current year because this $23,450 will cover to the end of the fiscal year. Per the chief, authority is requested to pay the final invoices for the continued cleaning services. This is due to the COVID over at the police department. Please note that the service has now been suspended and no other change order forms will be presented unless the city enters into a new contract with this vendor. So this is the final payment unless we hire this company to continue cleaning over at the police department. I'm going to take a motion by Alderman Seager, second by Alderman Kirkwood. Are there any questions to this motion? Alderman Rivera.
Thank you. You said that this would end our contract. We pay the 23,000 and we're finished with the contract?
That's what it says here, unless the chief is still on to give some more information on here in the paperwork.
Absolutely. Yep.
So Chief,
Yes.
Chief, this is the remaining amount that we owe on the current contract for the current year, correct?
Yes, ma'am. To finish them out through the end of the year. Yes, through May 1st.
Through May
Or
1st.
I guess it would be, let me think, May 1st, April 29th, 28th would probably be their last cleaning.
Yes.
So this has nothing to do with the upcoming contract?
No, sir. No, absolutely nothing to do with it. And it'll be up to the new administration to give me the green light or the red light if we continue service with them.
Okay. Okay.
But I will add this contract. This company was vetted prior, and I will say that we've had. You think of 100, almost 200 people working at the police department, and what little COVID exposure we've had, and what little risk. They've really mitigated the risk and really helped us out. I'd venture to say it probably would save money if I sat down with pen to paper. Their service probably saved us money and health as well.
Okay. When okay. Okay.
So we'll just have to reword that, right? To just saying that it's for the current fiscal year.
Yes, spending authority for the current. It's not upcoming fiscal years, for the current fiscal year. We'll take out the amended to take out the upcoming fiscal year.
Okay, to finish them out. Yeah, it was. Yeah, okay, I got you.
Yes. Alderman Kirkwood.
So we're saying that this contract will end May 1st or whenever that time comes up. So are we not going to look towards trying to renew that, especially when we're having people in and out of the police department, so that COVID is still, rising here in Illinois. So we need to be aware of that. So I think as we prepare the budget for the next fiscal year, we need to keep that in mind, especially if we're using sales and everything else, that we get those reports on a regular basis.
I couldn't agree more, Alderman. But if we, and talk with new administration about how we want to go forward and allow for such in the budget, we'll be more than happy to represent that, because it will be, we will have to present it again, because obviously the cost of a contract will definitely be over what my purchasing authorization is. So yes, sir. I would recommend them. They're a very solid, high standard company, very trustworthy. They're able to work in the police department with no problems, and they do a good job. So yes, sir.
I just want to make sure that we keep this in mind so that we're not even entertaining the thought of not doing it with this COVID rising here in the state of Illinois, especially with people coming in and out of that police department, sales, and everywhere else. So we've had enough people who have contacted the COVID, here in the city as a whole.
Thank you, sir. And myself and the officers, I know will appreciate the support. Thank you.
Madam Chairman, if I may say this, while this dollar amount would take us to the end of the fiscal year, Alderman, please be in mind, if someone comes into the police department, we do not have a contract at the time, you certainly might have to go under emergency situations in order to get this clean or shut down our sales. So it's the nature of the beast in which we're in. Just want to make sure everybody has that at the top of their minds, because they bring people in cars all the time. There's an outbreak. We must clean those sales in cars. And right now, this company is the only company that we have personally vetted. They're trusted to handle what we need them to handle. So just please be in mind as we're getting ready they bid again, that if something happens within that time frame, we got to be able to get it done.
All right, Alderman Kirkwood.
Can we try to, extend that until the mayor-elect is on board so that she could take a look at this so that we're not without coverage? I think it's important that whether we can extend that contract for a couple weeks so that the mayor-elect can take a look at it, but to not be covered and something happens when we had an opportunity to do something, it's shame on us. So I think that we need to make sure that it's not just over May 1st, and certainly mayor-elect takes office on May 3rd. Something happens, then we had the opportunity to address this issue short term, not long term, but short term, in order for the mayor-elect to take a look at that particular company that has been vetted and has been doing a good job.
Mayor-elect, do you have any comments regarding this? Is this something that you want to talk to the chief offline, or?
I mean, I think it's something we need to cover, but as of right now, my first budget discussion is Tina on Thursday, and Wednesday is when all the department heads will have their budget submitted. So right now, nothing's been submitted to our finance director that I can say that this is in their line items or whatever. I haven't seen any of that. So we probably need to make some kind of provision so it's covered. I just don't know that you can do that on the council floor or in a finance committee right now. That's something that the mayor could answer better than I could.
No, I think at this particular point in time, just making sure, giving the chief the authority to go ahead and get those things clean, and that would suffice right now. But we just want to make sure that we have someone we can turn to any event. So we should be fine with what we have right now. Chief, as long as the chief has that authority and he works with the purchasing team, finance department, to make sure we have that, along with I call it prevention, but it should be oh goodness, what's Katie's spot?
Risk management.
Risk management, sir.
Yeah, with risk management, which is in the HR department. So we're fine. I want all of them to be aware, because I know there's been many concerns that we do not go out for bid, we just do things recklessly, and I want us to be fully aware of how these things come up sometimes, particularly with COVID, and how it could really put a grip on things in Waukegan, since we have around 18 sales, roughly 200 units, police cars, we pick them up. That's the way it goes. But I'm pretty sure we're okay. And as long as the mayor-elect is aware of it, the chief, risk management, and along with finance, we should be okay. All right?
Very good. Thank you, sir.
Mhm. All right. Thank you, Alderman. Madam Chair, back to you for a vote.
All right, thank you, Mayor. We are item I, so being no more questions. Roll call, please.
Alderman Kirkwood.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera,
Aye.
Alderman Seager,
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo,
Aye.
Chairman Newsom.
Aye, motion carried. Item J, motion to authorize an application to be submitted for a SAFER grant. This grant would fund 3 firefighter positions for a period of 3 years. The grant is fully reimbursable with no local match requirement. If the grant is awarded to the city, further city council action would be required to execute a grant agreement with FEMA. I'm going to take a motion by Alderman Moiseo, second by Alderman Rivera. Are there any questions to this motion? We do have Chief Bridges online. If anyone has any questions regarding this, Alderman Moiseo?
Been down this road before. Just be cognizant of the fact, and we probably need to start saving now. After 3 years, this will be on our dime.
Yes.
So unless you want to hire 3 people and let them go in 3 years, it's going to be on our dime. So this is not free. It's like it's like 3 years you don't pick their salary. After that, we have to pay for them. So you need to start budgeting for that right now. And I don't know if Tina's on, we can find that answer out, but I don't know what the average fireman costs. It's not their salary, it's the hidden cost, it's the benefits, it's everything involved in that. So obviously we would like to have as much manpower as we can in our departments, but just be cognizant of the fact that after 3 years, it's on our dime. So we might need to start budgeting, or at least saving, preparing for the fact that this is going to be on our dime. Well, it could be 4 years, because after 3 years. So just something to think about. We've been down this road when we had police officers like this before. So just an FYI, that's all. Thank you.
Your person,
Excuse me?
Alderman Newsom, may I speak, Chair?
Yes, Chief.
Alderman Moiseo, absolutely. The history on this is as you have stated. I just wanted to make sure that you were aware. It's only to inform. Is that this is unlike any of the other SAFER grants. This one has changed due to the COVID and the government's willingness to understand how valuable manpower is. This is a 3-year 100% funding, not a diminishing fund as those were before. Unlike the other SAFER grant, this one is also not bringing on additional. If we have personnel that are retiring and through attrition have left, we can now with this SAFER grant, we can bring them on for 100%. So if we're already planning on replacing personnel here, it pays for the initial 3 years, 100% plus the benefits, and then it takes into effect, as you just stated, that we have to then be cognizant of the compensation for the personnel. But these are personnel that we're planning on hiring anyways to keep the appropriated numbers that you and the rest of the alderman persons have decided.
So Chief, this isn't actually 3 more bodies added to a head count. This is the SAFER grant saying of your head count, we're going to pick up 3 years and three bodies or 3 head counts. Am I right on that or no?
Yes, sir. You are correct.
So it's not an increase in head count. It's just the SAFER grant is, hey, we're going to relieve a little bit of your budgetary constraints. We're going to take care of 3 officers for you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's probably even a better deal.
Absolutely. We had sat down, Alderman, and expressed that to the mayor, explaining him how different it was because the mayor was there for the other ones. And yes, this is a true benefit. And Alderman Newsom, I know in our discussion, it was the, what do you call it? Do you have to keep the personnel after the 3 years? And you were correct. I just wanted to let you know that we looked into it. After 36 months, you do not have to retain them. I just wanted to make sure you were aware of that.
All right, thank you. Alderman Kirkwood?
Okay, but Chief, if we're using people that are already on the staff, we wouldn't release them anyway.
Right.
So my concern is that as long as we're not increasing the numbers and that we are going to utilize those individuals that are already on staff for 3 years, that will help us budgetarily very well. So I just want to make sure that we have a clear understanding, everyone on the council have a clear understanding of that, so that we're not doing any backfilling or anything of that nature. It's the current staff that those 3 positions will be taken up, and they will be remaining on our staff unless they decide to retire or move on.
Absolutely, sir. And also within this, you are absolutely correct. I wanted to say yes. We put, the submission was for 4, but 3 is what the mayor had discussed with us on how many are through attrition we have missing currently. I want to let you know about one other portion of this that was in the webinar. They will allow you, if you know that you have the retirees, as Chief Wallace just mentioned, you know the retirees are coming up. They're anticipated to leave August 1st and things like that, July. They allow you to bring them on ahead of their retirement so that you can pursue the educational needs, academy, medical training. You can also do that within this grant. So you can bring them on prior to the retirements is another advantage of this SAFER grant.
Now, Chief, you've had several retirements already, and you're gonna have to fill those positions. You've moved people up in different positions. So how long does it take for you to do that utilizing the SAFER grant?
That was also discussed with the mayor, and we have vacancies. We have the vacancies, and they still count because they use the appropriations to get that number. They do play into it, but the bad thing is that if your retirees happen before the award, it does not count from what we read. Some other departments try to utilize, hey, we're going to hire them in April, but unfortunately, this award doesn't happen until September. So it does come into play that we are short personnel. As the finance director has stated in your documents, we're down 3 currently, but we do have 3 more proposed, 2 in May and 1 in August for sure. So yes, it does play into it. We are currently just short manpower, as Chief Wallace is also, but if they awarded in September, we can, from that point on, anyone that we bring on will occupy the 3 or 4 positions of the SAFER grant.
All right, thank you, Chief.
No problem.
Alderman Rivera, did you have a question?
Yeah, just a quick question. This is just an application, right? I mean, there's no guarantees either way, and if we are awarded, it still has to come back to the council, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Chair, I'm sorry if I am interrupting.
No problem.
There's 500+ million within this grant. There were 2,300 applicants.
Okay. Are there any more questions to this motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Rivera,
Aye.
Alderman Seeger,
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo,
Aye.
Alderman Kirkwood,
Aye.
Chairman Newsom.
Aye, motion carried. Item K, motion to authorize an application to be submitted for a Waukegan Dunes and Beach Access Plan. This grant would reimburse the city for $67,000 toward a $100,000 study to be completed. The city would be required to make a local match of $33,000. If the grant is awarded to the city, further city council action would be required to execute a grant agreement with IDNR. Motion by Alderman Kirkwood, second by Alderman Rivera. And Ms. Noel, I'm gonna let you talk on that a little bit if you like.
Sure. This is an application to the Illinois Department of Natural Resources Coastal Management Program to be able to do a plan that would place boardwalks where our existing trails are through the dunes, as well as along the parking lot, hopefully improve the handicapped accessibility planning, as well as plan for locations for a beach house and washrooms if we can. If we're able to ask for more money than what we're anticipating here, we've been told by IDNR staff that they may make it easier for us and reduce our match requirement further. We'd like to pursue more and see if we can get the plan to the level of detail that we would have specifications to go out for bid. So we'd like to get it as detailed as possible so that then when we can access funding for the projects themselves, they're truly shovel ready at that point. And this also is just an application. If we're awarded the grant agreement would come back to you for approval as well.
And this is just to hire a consultant, funds to hire a consultant?
Yes, we would go out with an RFP for a consultant to do this work for us.
Okay. And then in this work, we would be looking for planning survey layout for getting bathrooms and
Bathrooms, a beach house, boardwalks, other accessibility projects to try to make the dunes and the beach accessible, but also protective of the natural environment. So that, for example, we can keep people away from piping plover and Blanding's turtles and things that are threatened or endangered species, but still allow them visual access to those areas and access across wetland areas.
do we know if there's any grants out there available that after we go for grants for a consultant, are there grants out there to cover the cost of having all that done?
For the implementation? Yeah, occasionally there are. So we're hoping to pursue that. There's actually one that the Lake County Audubon Society in partnership with the CAG has recently gotten, and they've brought us in to be part of their team to do a bird viewing area, like a deck sort of. So we'd incorporate that into our plan as well and seek funding like that, or have partners like that seek funding where perhaps municipal government isn't eligible for the funds for the grants, but if Lake County Audubon is eligible, then partner with them so that they could apply on our behalf to put in a system, an amenity like we have in our plan. And that way we're all working toward the same goal, and we'll have detailed specifications to the degree we can.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions? Any more questions? All right, roll call.
Alderman Seeger.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
I look forward to this as a friend of the Waukegan Beach, and I go down there quite frequently. All these would be great improvements to the beach. Thank you. Aye.
Thank you, sir. Alderman Kirkwood.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Chairman Newsom.
Aye, motion carried. Item 3, reports and communications. Since Ms. Tina is not here, Ms. Noel will go through our reports.
I'd be happy to, and I'll just go through and briefly remind you what's there. I don't have a lot of detailed information on what's in there, so I'd ask you to follow up with Ms. Migelski if you have specific questions about it. But you'll see that you have a water consumption summary report as the first attachment. You have the business license report as well as the rental license report. You have the stabilization fund report for Fund 714. The listing of special event applications by month. The video gaming report. The food and beverage and hotel tax collection reports. The push tax collection report.
I do have a question. Maybe Mayor Cunningham, do you know anything regarding that push tax, where we are with that, or Corporation Council?
Corp Counsel might, because I think there was some litigation on that. I don't have a current status. Bob, do you have anything?
Yeah, there is, the lawsuit is ongoing. We have, as you know, we prepared the push tax. The terminal operators filed a lawsuit to try to invalidate the tax and have it declared violative of the Illinois Constitution and some statutes and things. The trial court has ruled on the first motion to dismiss and struck major portions of their complaint. We have filed a second motion to dismiss, and that is pending before the court at this time. It'll be a while before there is a final ruling. I can talk to you more about that in closed session if you'd like.
Yeah, and along those same lines, I think everybody got the email from Janet about what West Dundee just did. Something we need to take a look at. It helps our local business, but still gives us our licensing fee. I'm not going to say anything about it right now, but give that a read. So that helps out our local business, but we still maintain our license fees for the terminal. So if you haven't given that read from what Janet did, give it a read.
Thank you, Ms. Noel. You can go ahead.
You have one more report in your packet, which is the large one. That's the budget to actual report. And that is for the month ending March 31st. That's the fiscal year as of March 31st. And that's the conclusion of your reports.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna take a motion by to adjourn. Motion by Alderman Moiseo, second by Alderman Kirkwood to adjourn at 6:08 p.m. Roll call.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Kirkwood.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Seeger.
Aye.
Chairman Newsom.
Aye. Motion carried. We are adjourned. I think we're getting ready to go into exec session.